OK, salut tout le monde, bonjour. Alors, dans cette vidéo, on va parler de la rubrique pour le chapitre du petit Nicolas, d'accord? Et je sais bien qu'il y a deux rubriques, un pour les individus et un pour les partenaires. Ici, on va regarder la rubrique pour les partenaires, mais je vais discuter aussi les petits changements, parce qu'ils sont petits, les petites différences entre la rubrique pour les partenaires et pour les individus. OK, alors, on y va. OK, d'accord. Chapitre final, nombre de mots, 10 points. Très facile. So, for your chapter, how many words do you have? Oui? Très facile à voir. Really easy to see right there. Oui. Alors, je continue. Style du livre, 5 points. Nicolas est le narrateur qui raconte l'histoire en première personne. Il y a quelque chose de drôle ou ironique qui se passe à la fin du chapitre et c'est une histoire qui s'est déjà passée. So, 5 points, 5 points for the style of the book, for having your chapter written in the style of the book, meaning Nicolas is the narrator who is telling the story in first person. There is something funny or ironic that happens at the end of the chapter, and it's a story that has already happened. So it's being told in past tense, right? So there's going to be a lot of imparfait and passé composé. Oui? Now, that doesn't mean that imparfait and passé composé are the only tenses you're going to use, right? Because, for instance, dialogue a lot of times tends to be in present tense, right? And you're going to use some conditional in there as well. But for the most part, lots of imparfait, passé composé. Oui? Okay, so les niveaux, niveau exceptionnel, so exceptional level, niveau avancé, advanced level, niveau standard, standard level, niveau débutant, beginning niveau, and pas présent, meaning this isn't present at all. Oui? Okay, je continue. Des personnages du livre, 5 points. Le chapitre contient des personnages du livre. So 5 points for your chapter containing some characters from the book, Petit Nicolas, right? So super easy to do. Yes, you may add 1 or 2 characters, new ones if you want to, but mostly we're going to have Nicolas and his friends. Oui? So we have niveau exceptionnel jusqu'à pas de personnage du livre. No characters from the story are in your chapter. Voilà. Okay. Des dessins, 15 points. Le chapitre contient 6 dessins colorés qui montrent clairement ce qui se passe dans l'histoire. So, drawings, 15 points. Your chapter contains 6 colored drawings which clearly show what is happening in your story, okay? If you are, once again, this is for the partenaire, oui? If you are an individu, you're only doing 4 drawings, 4 dessins, oui? And the most important part of all of this right here is that les dessins montrent clairement ce qui se passe dans l'histoire. Is that your drawings are clearly showing what is happening in the story, okay? So imagine, right? You make your whole chapter, oui, and you give it to your friend who knows no French whatsoever. None at all, oui. What I would hope is that just by looking at the pictures, that friend should be able to kind of figure out what's happening in the story, maybe, okay? So make sure they're really representing what's going on in your story, okay? Alors, niveau exceptionnel, 15 ou 14 points, jusqu'à pas de dessin, 3, 2, 1, 0 point. Really, actually, no drawings or few drawings, I guess, would be better for there. Oui, mais voilà. OK. Ensuite, page de titre avec dessin, 5 points. Le chapitre commence avec une page de titre qui contient un dessin. So your chapter starts with a title page that contains a drawing. So that is another drawing, oui, in addition to the 6 or the 4 that will be within your chapter, oui, okay? Et encore, 5 points, oui. Your drawing here can just be something that just represents your chapter overall, oui, okay? OK. 15 mots de vocabulaire, 15 points. Le mot de vocabulaire est correctement écrit et il est approprié à la phrase. So your vocab word is correctly written and it is appropriate in the sentence. Oui? Okay. So correctly written, correctly spelled, oui. And appropriate in the sentence, meaning like it makes sense. Okay, right? So let me think here. If I said something about Nicolas only had 2 pièces de monnaie. And then in the same sentence, I said, Nicolas a des tas et des tas de pièces de monnaie. Huh? That wouldn't really work, right? That one, des tas de wouldn't really work there because he only has 2. Oui? Okay, ça fait du sens? I hope that makes sense. Oui? Ouais. If you have questions about that, of course, let me know. Oui? Also, aussi, for individu, you're only doing 12 mots de vocabulaire, 12 words. Oui? And you'll notice for each word here, you have a niveau exceptionnel jusqu'à pas de mots, down to no word, no vocab word. So each word is worth up to 1 point, 1 point. Okay, je continue. 5 verbes au conditionnel. Et encore, le verbe est correctement écrit et il est approprié à la phrase. So the verb is correctly written and it is appropriate for the sentence. It makes sense, right? Maybe, okay. If you're an individu, you're doing 4 verbs. You're only doing 4 verbs, oui. And once again, you got the 1 à 0 for chaque verbe, Okay. Et ici à la fin, continue, 20 points. Content, 20 points. Le chapitre est écrit au niveau approprié en utilisant des structures complexes, du vocabulaire avancé et beaucoup de détails. Les idées sont organisées et l'histoire est très compréhensible. Okay, so your chapter is written at an appropriate level using complex structures, advanced vocabulary, and lots of details. The ideas are organized and your story makes sense. Oui? Okay, so basically, can I follow your story? Does it make sense, right? Are you using a variety of vocab, right? Like from our vocab sheet and other things? Are you adding in details? Sentence structures, structure complexe, oui? I know that sounds scary, like, oh, complex structures, oh no. Oh. But it's really not, okay? That's basically saying, okay, is every single sentence Nicolas est allé. Nicolas a mangé. Nicolas a fini les devoirs. Nicolas a regardé la télé. Right? It's like the same, right? Okay. So mix it up a little bit, right? Use some different sentence structures. Oui? Okay. And if you need help with that, just ask. Oui? Ouais, I'll help. Oui. Okay. Enfin, précision, 20 points. Le chapitre est écrit sans faute qui empêche la compréhension de l'histoire. The chapter is written without faults or without errors, which prevent comprehension of the story. Okay, so all errors are not the same when it comes to writing. Right? If you just have, 2 little letters in a noun that you've like flipped, fuck off, not a big deal, right? But if you have, I don't know, something in passé composé and you've got all kinds of things all mixed up in weird order and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, I can't even figure out what you're trying to say there. Oof, yeah. Okay, those are big errors, right? That would really affect your grade, okay? But the little ones, not a big deal. Back off, not a big deal. I basically will sit down and I look at the story, and as I'm reading it, I think to myself, okay, would a French person be able to read this and understand it, right? Doesn't mean it has to be perfect, just would they be able to read it and understand it? Okay. All right. Total, 100 points. Oui. Now, if you are doing the individual, here's something a little different. For the individual, hold on, I'll type this in here. I'm going to get rid of this later. But for right now, I'll type it in here. Wait. Individu. Okay, total. So if you compare the two rubrics, you're going to be like, wait a minute. How's this going to work? Theirs is out of 100 points. Individuals, theirs is only out of 93 points. What? Well, that's because individuals don't have to use as many vocab words, right? And they don't have to use as many verbs. So that's why there's a difference in the score there. Oh yeah, they don't have to have as many drawings too. That's the other one. So that's why there's a difference in the score. Okay, but what is important, especially when I enter this into progress book, what is important is not the amount of points. It is the percentage that is important, okay? So let's imagine you get 90 out of 100 points on the project. You got a 90%. That is what is important in progress book, because that 90% is what is used to calculate your overall grade for the semester, right? So how do we do this? All right, let's imagine that, I don't know. I got to do math here. Oh no, I don't know if you can see my little calculator, but I just pulled up my little calculator here, calculatrice, because I don't do math in my head anymore. All right, let's say we have someone who got a 90 out of a 93 points on their project. Really nice job. That is a roughly. I type it into a spreadsheet and let Excel do all the math for me. But that's a 97%. Okay. So when I enter their grade into progress book for the exam, they're going to get a 97 out of 100 just to make this what is equal to the 90 over 93. Okay. I hope that makes sense. If not, come and talk to me if you're concerned about that. I can try to sit down with you and explain the math a little more in detail, or hopefully a little more clearly. But once again, it's the percentage that is what is important. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. J'espère, oui. If you have any questions about the rubric at all, please come and ask. I'm happy to go through or answer any questions. And I am really excited to read your chapters. Okay. Merci tout le monde. Ciao.